Hi, everybody. Mark Davis in the wake of our Thursday, February 12th, 2015 program. And as we're speaking to each other here today, it hasn't even technically opened yet at local theaters, but already 50 Shades of Grey has carved its way into my life. I wrote a column in the Dallas Morning News and at townhall.com and did a few talk show segments on my belief that this film is, how did I put it? Oh, yeah, societal poison, cultural rot, things like that. I'll back up my thoughts on that here in a second, but what's been intriguing to me is the pushback. Not so much from people who say that it's not societal rot, it's not cultural poison, but that I shouldn't be criticizing other people's choices at the movie theater. Really? Is that where we're going? People have, I love this, people have said, yeah, Mark, you're Mr. Constitution. Don't you realize people are free to see whatever kind of movies they want to see and free to make whatever kind of movies they want to make? Yeah, that's called a straw man argument, setting up somebody here saying something that I'm not in fact saying. Somebody's right to see this garbage or to make this garbage is not at issue. Of course it's a free country. Of course they may. My point is that the message within it, that the content is absolutely debasing to all involved and all who consume it. Okay, let me back that up. The fact that the movie is filled with a certain softcore pornography is one thing, but usually movies with a whole lot of gratuitous sex are really just about that imagery, and they spend way too much time showing you things you really don't need to see. And there are plenty of movies with excellent plots that have had all kinds of sex and all kinds of violence, and I generally have no great problem with it. It's like, okay, let's move the plot down the road. If you got to do that, okay. But this is the whole point with 50 Shades of Grey. And it's not just that it's about graphic sex. It is about demeaning, poisonous, perverted sex. And nobody seems to care. It's fun. It's a fantasy. All the girls are doing Pinot tailgate parties. And, it's just, please, it's just a movie. Yeah, it's just a movie. It's just a movie. I know it's just a movie. I'm not saying, before that it was just a book, and a crappy book. I leave through some of that 8th grade prose, and please. And in fact, does anybody remotely believe, can anyone with a straight face tell me that this book or this movie, that I'd be talking about it or that you'd be even aware of it if it didn't have an enormous amount of graphic material that is the engine that is fueling this entire thing? But that's not even the worst problem. The worst problem with 50 Shades of Grey is the messaging. Some supposedly enlightened and liberated and so independent, adventurous women are going to stream into theaters this coming weekend and for God knows how long thereafter. And they are going to immerse themselves in a plot line that delivers the following messages. That if you are rich and if you are hot, you can do all kinds of disgusting things to people and get away with them. And as for the young lady, as for Anastasia, here's the great lesson for young women. If he wants to do things to you that are twisted and sick, do it. Hey, you might actually start to enjoy it. And even if you don't enjoy it, hang in there, ladies, because you can change him. How's that working in many relationships we can all name? But maybe the third and most troublesome thing is that you can deliver these kinds of just poisonous, debasing messages, and it'll get playful coverage on the Today Show or something. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and Lisa's at home saying, I had to, pull Ethan away from the TV because they're doing, 50 Shades, blah, 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 blah. And it's Valentine's Day. What says Valentine's Day more than twisted, perverse, abusive relationships, huh? This movie is crap. So ladies, don't do it. And as for any self-respecting or woman-respecting man out there, got an idea. Sit your woman down, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, and you don't have to wag a finger at her or take the kind of tone that I am necessarily, but very lovingly say, honey, I don't want to see this movie, and I don't want you to either. It is unscriptural. It is not the way people should act. And listen, by the way, let's pause. Tons of movies are about people doing bad things, but they're offered up as bad things. One of the first Christian Bale movies, love Christian Bale. American Psycho, ugh. But it's American Psycho. He's terrible. He's doing unspeakable, horrible things, and they're identified as unspeakable, horrible things. No Country for Old Men, wonderful movie. Oh my gosh. There's a guy in there doing horrible things. He's a horrible guy. What the troublesome thing about 50 Shades of Grey is that this is lifted up as cool. It's sexy. It's awesome. That's disgusting. So guys, self-respecting men, say, honey, I want better for us. I want better for you. This is an elevation of something that does not deserve to be elevated. So tell you what, how about we go out for a nice meal? I'll do something very nice and loving for you. It's Valentine's Day and every day. But as for 50 Shades of Grey, let's just say no. Thanks a lot for catching this and listening to the show. I have a feeling we're not done with this. So, in fact, I wrote about this at dallasnews.com and townhall.com. If you want to go see what I had to say about that, then call me. I have a talk show every day. It's awesome. Thanks for listening. Mark Davis Show on 660 AM The Answer.